Conclusion. If you insist on following and idolizing gifted speakers and engaging in emotionally unrestrained worship, you will be led astray. If this is what you want out of going to church, you will miss what you need to grow in the faith. You will not be edified. You will remain a child in the faith, able only to receive milk, as did the believers at Corinth, precisely because of these things, despite their manifestations of the gifts of the Spirit. Remember, it was the church at Corinth that had the charismatic problem. Paul said they lacked no good gift, and yet they were immature, unable to be fed with meat, which was what they needed. Their idolatry of the wisdom of men ensured that they remained spiritually immature. And if there is one thing that adequately defines the modern church in Britain, and probably the Western world generally, it is spiritual immaturity. Despite the pervasive obsession with spiritual gifts and claims for all kinds of manifestations of the Spirit, the church today is spiritually immature. This is one of the reasons why the modern church is so defeated before the world. The church is full of spiritual infants who remain immature and are therefore useless for the battles ahead. Despite having every good gift, the church at Corinth was immature and beset by troubles. The believers there were incapable of being fed with meat necessary for them to be equipped for the battle. They were put under disciplinary measures by Paul because of their disorderly and immoral behaviour. 1 Corinthians 11, 17-34. The Christians at Corinth were obsessed with the wisdom of the world, despite their spiritual gifts, and this was why they showed such contempt for Paul's person, his lack of charisma, and his preaching abilities, his lack of those qualities considered necessary for one to be a gifted speaker. Let us not follow their example and imitate the church at Corinth. Let us seek instead to understand God's word, focus on the content, and order our lives and worship reasonably and rationally, so that let us not follow their example and imitate the church at Corinth. Let us seek instead to understand God's word, focus on the content, and order our lives and worship reasonably and rationally, so that we are not led astray into error and the glorifying of men rather than God. This audio version of The Problem of the Gifted Speaker has been produced by Reconstructionist Radio with lrnteach.com and narrated by Nathan F. Conkey. Please visit kuiper.org/books to download or purchase this book.